that was not me. That was me checking myself, because at no time do I need anybody else to check me, because I check myself. Now, I will be the first one that if I offend somebody, or if I do something or say something that someone doesn't like, then I have enough emotional intelligence to stand on it and apologize. Okay, now, what I was going to say was, what gives men the audacity to think that they are competent enough to make decisions for women when they can't even carry, birth, or feed a baby?
Okay, let me ask you a question responding to that.
What? First, man, hold on, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. We ain't even got into the video good enough. What? What the fuck does having birth got to do with feeding a baby? What? How does that correlate with competence? That's so stupid.
How does carrying a child correlate to decision making for masses of groups of people? Make the correlation logically.
Yeah, me too, bro. I hate that. I'm getting tired.
Well, with all the rhetoric that's out here today, a lot of men are, I'm not saying for the world. Of course, there's heads of different countries. There's a head. There's going to be decision making for an entire population, because we can't base things on individual needs. You need this, you need that, you need this. We're going to do it under umbrellas. So that's that. What I'm simply saying is that, how can a group of men who do not even possess that power have the audacity to think that they are competent enough to make decisions for women?
Okay, you still have not answered my question, so I'll try to go into more detail. Can you logically give me an explanation on how childbirth and carrying a child for 9 months, being able to harvest a child, can you tell me how that correlates to making decisions for the masses of groups of people?
Exactly.
Because you have nothing to do with that. You have absolutely nothing to do with that woman and the phases and stages of what her body is going through, and you have no idea.
Okay, so go ahead, finish. Go ahead. I thought you were
so how can you competently lead and guide a woman?
Okay, this still doesn't answer my question, but we'll just go with the point that you're bringing up. Okay. So you do realize if a man has right, he has issues with his semen due to his bad health, his diet. If he gets a woman pregnant, you do realize that child and that woman can have issues, right, with her body, because that man's semen is not the best. You just said that a man.
No, that's not true.
It's absolutely
true. That's not true. That is not true.
So what you're telling me is, on a platform of, I don't know how many people are watching that, if a man does not have the best semen, or like his semen is not the best, I don't know that correct biological term for it, you're telling me that no matter what is the levels and the health of his actual semen, it has nothing to do with the woman's body and how that child is going to be conceived, as far as having health defects, birth defects, the possibility of that woman staying alive. You're saying that has no correlation?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You want me to explain it to you?
I don't think me or you, because I don't think either of us are educated in that field. I think we both should do.
I am. I have a master's degree in nursing.
You have a master's degree in nursing?
I have a master's degree in nursing. Yes,
okay. Okay. What type of nursing? What do you actually work in?
I'm a registered nurse.
Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do, can you give me some links in like an actual study?
Oh yes. Actually, you can. Let me. Hold on one second. Oh. That's just my bachelor's. Let's see. I actually have 3 degrees. I have an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's.
Congratulations.
And they're all in nursing. So here's
my don't nobody care. Get to the link. Get to the link. Show the information that you back up your evidence of what the fuck you just said.
Okay, I don't know why you're showing me that. I don't know why you're showing me that.
Because you said give you a link. I can do better than give you a link. I can give you my degree.
Yeah, but get that.
Right.
Okay, but you need to give me like an actual study, right? So that's what I want. Someone who.
Oh, you want it? You want an actual study? You want an actual study? I don't need to pull up an actual study because it's all DNA based. It's all DNA based.
You lying to me? You lying? What?
Yeah.
Man, look at man. Hell no.
So the person that actually affects the baby during pregnancy is the mother via alcohol and drugs, because the baby is growing inside of her. She is supplying the nutrients. She is supplying all the immunities and different things of that nature. So the male sperm, the only way the male sperm is going to affect the baby is if maybe he has, some type of familiar history of, I don't know, some rare disease.
Okay, I just want you to understand something, that showing a degree that's not a source. By the way, I'm just looking in the chat real quick. Someone just said that yes, poor sperm quality, particularly high levels of DNA damage or fragmentation. Hold on. And I'm not saying that this is a source. I'm just adding this. This is a response. You should be able to back this. You should be able to debunk this point, right? Because you're the educated one. Yes, poor sperm quality, particularly high levels of DNA damage or fragmentation, can cause miscarriage, including recurrent ones. You're saying that that's not possible whatsoever?
No. When you're talking about sperm, only the strongest sperm reaches the egg. There's not one sperm that's swimming towards the egg. There are many sperm crawling, swimming towards the ovum. So only the strongest survive. Where you get twins, you get two that get in there, right?
Okay, great.
Other than that, it has a weak sperm, deficient, deformed. It won't make it because the other sperm will push it out the way.
Okay.
They'll be lagging, right?
Okay, there's no true medical term in that, but we'll just do this. So what I did was I actually took that comment, because I'll give you that. You're the one that is, I guess, the more educated one, as you claim. I'll give you that. And we'll just do this, because I actually took the comment that the person typed in the chat, and I typed it in on ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is not, because you have to kind of be very detailed with ChatGPT, because sometimes they just put up anything. And I'll ask them for a source as well. So this is what ChatGPT says, based on, because you said it doesn't happen, and ChatGPT said this. So we'll just read this. And again, I just took her comment. I just copied and pasted it to ChatGPT. Yes, poor sperm. She said, yes, poor sperm quality, particularly high levels of DNA damage or fragmentation, can cause miscarriage, including reoccurrence. ChatGPT says, yes, this statement is correct, and it's backed by solid medical evidence. Poor sperm quality, especially high sperm DNA fragmentation, can contribute to miscarriages, including recurrent pregnancy loss. Here's how it works. Plainly, the sperm DNA fragmentation it means the DNA inside the sperm is damaged or broken. The sperm can look normal, move fine. Let me finish. I promise you, I'll give you the floor once I'm finished. A sperm can look normal, move fine, and still carry damaged DNA. How it causes miscarriage? Fertilization can still happen. Every cell division may begin normally. As the embryo develops, the damaged paternal DNA becomes critical. If the damage is too severe, the embryo cannot continue developing, which equals a miscarriage. What the research shows, men with high DNA fragmentation have higher miscarriage rates, higher rates of recurrent pregnancy loss, lower live birth rates. This is even true when women, let me finish. This is true even when the woman has no fertility issues. Common causes of sperm DNA damage: oxidative stress, smoking or vaping, obesity, poor diet, which is what I mentioned earlier, heat exposure, infections. I've never seen this word before. You probably know. Varicocele. I don't know how to say that word.
Varicosity.
No, not varicosity. It's a VARICOCEL.
This man said viscosity. Oh, I don't see an S nowhere in there, or an I. It's only after I don't even know how to say this shit. Only after the R's why I see an I. What she just said, it requires two I's. So no.
L-E.
Spell it again. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to say the word. Damn, I just clicked off. Hold on, y'all. My bad.
VARICOCELE.
Damn it. Hold on. VARICOELE. I've never seen this word in my life.
COCELE.
Oh, varicose.
Varicose? Do you know what that means? I don't.
It's an enlargement of veins.
Okay. Aging, environmental toxins. Why this often gets missed. Standard semen analysis does not test DNA fragmentation. Men are often told they are fine based only on count and motility. DNA integrity is a separate issue. Important takeaway, miscarriage is not always a female issue. More fertility and sperm DNA quality can play a direct, measurable role in embryo viability and pregnancy outcomes, blah, 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 blah. So everything that they just said is not true. Now you have
so we're doing tomatoes here because I did say DNA.
Huh?
We're doing tomatoes because I did say DNA.
Ma'am, I'm not doing any tomatoes. I read you the comment that woman said in the chat, and I took it to ChatGPT, and
we're doing tomatoes. Well, it's still the same thing, ain't it? You just pronouncing it different. It's still the same thing. You can say tomatoes, still the same fruit. Or if you say pecan, it's still the same goddamn thing. She just talking out the side of her neck.
I copy pasted it. And that's what it said to me. And I asked you from the jump, is what she said true? You said, no, that's not true. So I copied and pasted it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is saying that it's true. So what you're saying is that's not true.
I agree with the DNA aspect of it. Yes, 100%. Okay.
So I'm going to read the first part again, because it said it clearly. It says poor sperm quality, especially means that this is an addition, right? It's more likely that this could be the case. Especially high sperm DNA fragmentation can contribute to miscarriages, including recurrent pregnancy loss. Also, I read you her exact comment, and you said, no, that's not true. And her exact comment was, yes, poor sperm quality, particularly high levels of DNA damage or fragmentation, can cause miscarriages, including recurrent ones. You said that was not true. And then now, given the example that ChatGPT actually explained and broke it down, you're saying, well, it's true because it's DNA. Well, I've already explained to you from the jump what the actual comment was, and you said that it wasn't true. So now you're going back on your own original statement.
No, I'm not. No, I did say, okay, can you rewind it back? It says DNA. I said DNA. There has to be something wrong with the DNA.
Ma'am, I read you the comment that the woman said. You said that was not true. You said, are you saying that this statement was not true? I literally gave you the floor to say that this was true or not, and you said that it wasn't true. It literally says, ma'am, in the actual breakdown, it literally says poor sperm quality, especially means that it's more prevalent for this to be the case. Especially high sperm DNA fragmentation can contribute to miscarriages, including recurrent pregnancy loss. It literally says, important takeaway, miscarriage is not always a female issue. Male fertility and sperm DNA quality, male fertility and, that's an addition, male fertility and sperm DNA quality play a direct, measurable role in embryo viability and pregnancy outcomes. What you're saying is that's not true.
I agree with the DNA aspect, but is
sperm not a part of DNA? Is sperm not a part of DNA?
Of course, it's a part of the DNA.
So you would now agree that a man can have a hand in play in a woman not having a healthy child or having a pregnancy or going through her cycle, or not the cycle, but going through the 9 months of pregnancy. You are saying now that a man can play a role into that.
I mean, I'll give it to you, but I mean, the rate is not really all that.
We're not arguing about rate, right? Most women don't get sexually assaulted, but it still happens, correct?
Oh, most women do. A lot of women do.
I didn't say a lot of women don't.
That's a topic for a different day.
The majority.
This is why I hate about certain conversations like this. You hear a certain thing, but then you want to try to take that bitch off. And shout out to my dog Macaroni Tony. You want to take that bitch to Universe 7. He didn't say that it don't happen. He said it does happen. And then she takes it on the universe and said, well, we ain't gonna sit here and say that it don't happen a lot. No, we know that it happens. Not at the rate that you probably think it does, but yeah, we know it happens. We do. But the likelihood of it happening versus not happening, I think, what is it, 1 to 3? 1 to 3, right?
If women don't get sexually assaulted. I didn't say a lot of women don't. I said the majority of women don't get sexually assaulted, but sexual assault is still an issue that women go through, correct?
Right.
Right. So we're not arguing rates. We're talking about the possibility thereof, which is what I'm arguing. I'm not arguing an absolute. I'm arguing a possibility. And my only point was, is there a possibility that a man, his sperm, can cause a woman to not have a healthy child or go through something during her pregnancy? You said no. And are you now conceding that you were incorrect and you're now saying yes?
I'm conceding that I was incorrect.
You know what? I actually have a lot more respect for you towards that point. So that was your first. I have a lot of respect for you actually for saying that. We got to give her some grace, fellas, because usually women don't do that. Right. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to get into the next point that we were speaking on? Because I know you have some more issues.
No, yeah. So I was waiting for you to answer my question. What gives men the audacity to think that they're competent enough to make decisions for a woman? I can even add to that when they can't even make good decisions for themselves.
Yeah, and I asked you, where does the correlation from? And you gave the correlation to say, because women give birth, basically. Right. Okay, let me ask you this. What about the women who can't have babies?
What makes them think that they are competent enough to guide her as well? Let's take pregnancy out of it.
Right. So that's what I'm going to expand it. Great. Let's go. That's exactly what I wanted you to go to. So now give me the correlation. Give me the other correlation. Give me the other argument that you're going to say that correlates to making your question that you have.
The fact that they make poor decisions for themselves.
Okay. Men, I agree. A lot of men do make poor decisions for themselves.
I would say the majority.
Well, I would say, to answer your question, well, I don't know. What would you consider? I don't know if you would consider. What are you basing that off of as far as poor decisions?
The fact that divorce rates are high.
What?
Abortion rates are high.
What does that have to do with men? The majority of divorces are filed by women. Men don't have a say so.
High. Well, because sorry, say that again.
The majority of divorces are filed by women, and by the way, men don't have a say so when it comes to abortion.
Right, and usually women don't divorce men for nothing.
Based on when you actually have the reason why you divorce, you can't put nothing, right? A lot of times the highest reason is actually irreconcilable differences, which a lot of times correlates to money. Or a lot of women divorce because they're not happy. A lot of women divorce for most of the issues, but what does that have to do with the initial question of being able to make a decision? Because what about the people who don't want to be married? Like you're basing the question off of, okay, why do men get to make decisions for women? Because divorces happen?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But that's quite literally what you said.
No, what I'm saying is that my argument is that what gives them the audacity to think that they can competently make decisions for women when they can't do it for themselves. Who
makes the decision off of divorce? Who files for divorce?
It doesn't matter. The woman makes the decision of divorce, but she doesn't do it for no reason at all. She just woke up today and wanted a divorce. Everything was going
Some
fine,
women do that.
And she just woke up and wanted a divorce.
Some women do.
No, women don't do that. You yourself have already said in some of your lives that women check out way before men. Yeah, women check out months before men. Right. So she didn't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I think I'll have a divorce."
Okay, I think you have an issue with understanding probability versus possibility, right? So there are women who completely divorce men for absolutely zero reason. There are women who divorce men simply because they want to take his money.
Yep.
Right? Are you saying that that's never happened ever since the beginning of time? There's no woman that has ever divorced.
But it's a reason.
But no. But you're saying that. But with the argument again, you're questioning decision making, right? You're questioning decision making. So how does that correlate to men being able to make decisions for women if women have to make the decision to where they're going to leave men for simply by taking and using his money? How does that correlate to your initial question to say, why are men able to make decisions? And then what decisions are you speaking on specifically?
Okay, so he should have chose better. He chose a gold digger. He should have chose better.
I'm not disagreeing with that. That's nothing to do with the point.
Right. So I mean,
she just, bruh, this woman is all over the place. She just talking. She just talking just to be talking. She don't know what she talking about. She can't stick to a point. She can't stick to shit. She pissing me off right now.
he got to take accountability. He should have chose better.
Yeah, but
That's
we're not
the reason
arguing
she
that. We're
divorced
arguing
him.
about the initial decision making from the jump of men having a decision make over women. You still have not qualified. You still have not answered the question of how does that correlate to decision making?
What do you mean? How does it correlate to decision making? It correlates because they can't even keep their own lives together to be able to make competent decisions for women.
Okay, what do you okay, so you're classifying not having your life together as getting divorced, right?
Yeah, I would say yes.
So all the women who are divorced don't have their life together.
All the women who are divorced, right? They didn't have their lives together because they were married to a man that didn't have his life together. Yes.
So all the men who divorced those women, are the men's life together, and women who they divorced, their life wasn't together?
Yeah, they divorced the women. That when the man files for divorce, he's divorcing because he knows his life is not together and he's not competent enough to further this relationship.
So basically, you're going on a gender bias. You're making the gender bias point. So
no,
anytime
you flipped it.
She a straight feminist. She ain't making no sense that she got them. She diluting her own point. She's diluting her own point. Because no matter how you flip it, she's still saying it's the man's fault. So if the man decides to get married, if the man gets married to a woman and the woman decides to divorce this man, which we know the statistics show that 70% of women file for divorce, and majority of the time is for how you say that shit? Damn, I can't even say it. I can't say it. Hold on. I can't say it. Hold on. Hold on. I can't say it. I'll fuck it up. Hold on. Irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences. For irreconcilable differences, that's the majority of the time, right? But then when he flipped the question around and then asked her, well, okay, so are you saying that the men who decide to get divorced, who decides to file for divorce, are you then saying that the men have their life together because they were the ones who filed for divorce? And she's saying, no, they're filing for divorce because they realized that they didn't have their shit together. What are you talking about?
You flipped it.
I know I flipped it to see if your logic was going to apply on both sides, and it doesn't. So if a woman gets divorced,
it does.
No, it quite
the man is the
doesn't,
leader,
man.
right? The man is the leader, right?
Here we go.
Yeah, so it should be
because he's the leader. He's supposed to be the leader. So if the woman decides that
this is so stupid. Let me let her finish her point.
She's going to divorce him because her life is messed up. It means her life is messed up because of him. If he decides to divorce her because his life is messed up, that means his life is messed up because of him, because he's the leader. He's the decision maker.
Okay. What if a woman cheated? Is that his fault?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that logic apply with your son?
Yes.
So if your son gets cheated on, if he gets abused, let's say if his wife puts his hands on her, that's his fault.
Yes.
Oh boy. Are you raising any men right now? Any boys?
Yeah, I have a grown son.
And you would advise your hold on, stop right there. You would advise your grown son, hey mom, I've been dealing with this woman. She's been putting her hands on me. She's been cheating on me. I've been doing nothing but loving and protecting and respecting this woman, but she's been putting her hands on me, cheating on me and lying to me. And she had a baby outside of wedlock on me, and I didn't even know about it. And I've been raising this child for 2 years, which is your grandson or granddaughter. You're telling me that's his fault and not her fault, and he should just deal with it because his life is not together.
I would say it's his fault, but I wouldn't tell him he has to deal with it. But it's his
okay,
fault.
why would you say it's his fault?
He chose better.
Why would you say it's better? Okay, and if the logic applies on the flip side, if a man did that to her, she should have chose better as well.
She should have chose better. Yes.
Now you just went against your point, man, because earlier it was the man whose life wasn't together. You just went against your own point. You just contradicted yourself. But I mean, you're very easy to debunk. You just contradicted your own point, man. You made a point, and I walked you down with that purposely. I did that purposely to see if your logic was going to apply on both sides. It doesn't. You just destroyed your own talking point in real time in front of, I don't know how many people are watching this live. You just destroyed your own talking point.
It does. It does. She should have chose better because at the end of the day, we do. But you,
I don't even,
no,
Belinda,
but
I don't think you're following me, Belinda. You destroyed your own talking point a few minutes ago.
Okay,
Belinda.
can you let me speak?
But Belinda, you destroyed your own talking point. You just did it just now. I asked you earlier, if it's a woman that goes through said thing, it's the man's fault because he's not being a good enough leader. And then I said, well, if the man goes through such thing, you said it's also the man's fault. So then that's why I flipped the roles and I asked you the question on the flip side, and now you're going to get your own point. Why? Is because there's someone that's kin to you, like your son. So now you're able to have logic when it comes to someone that's came out of your own womb. Now you understand and have empathy. But if it applies to any other man, that's different. So that means that you're being unbiased. That means that you're being biased and you're not being intellectually honest, man.
Facts.
That's what that means.
I held him accountable the same way. I said he should have chose better, just like.
But we're not arguing. But we're not. But again, I asked you the question on the flip side, and you said the woman should have chose better. But then 5 minutes ago, not even 5 minutes ago, like 3 or 4 minutes ago, you said that it's the man's fault and he did said thing to her. So it's not about her choosing better. It's simply his fault because no matter what, because he has a penis. You just destroyed your own talking point.
But it is okay. But we do have our own free will. So at the end of the day, yes, it still is his fault. But if I am to correct anyone in the situation, I'm to correct my daughter, not him. So that's where my logic is. So if
we were talking about your son, not the daughter. We were talking about the son.
You flipped it to the daughter. If my daughter,
no, I didn't. I didn't flip anything to. I didn't flip it to the daughter.
What did you say? You said if it was your daughter and if your daughter came to you and the man was putting his hands on her. No, I did say that. You're right. I did. I thought you were talking about the other point. I thought you were talking about the other point. So. Okay. Right.
So but we're not okay.
So it's not.
We're not talking about the correction though. We're talking about when I asked you about the daughter, because I thought you were talking about another point. When I asked you about the daughter, you knew to say, well, it's not just her fault, right? Or it's not just her fault. It's on the man. You went against your own point because I asked you something a few minutes ago. And it didn't matter about if it was somebody that's near and dear to you or a kin. It was simply about that they had a penis, because your whole entire argument was the man is the problem, the man is the problem, the man is the problem. So if a man goes through said thing, he gets abused, lies, cheated on, it's his fault because he didn't choose right. But if it's a woman, it's different. If it's your daughter, it's different. I didn't say you don't talk to your daughter about it. What I'm saying is, you know that you have a bias based on gender. And let's just get down to the point, because you're not making any sense at this point. This is the truth, Belinda.
I haven't even spoken that much, and I'm not making sense.
You're not making sense.
You're the one who's been speaking.
You're not making sense.
How am I not making sense? And how am I not making sense?
I think the fact that you don't know you're not making sense is more of a bigger problem.
No,
you're a teacher, correct? I just want to put this out there. Hold on, Belinda. You're a teacher, right?
You're gaslighting me. I don't appreciate
now you're doing the victim mentality. You're doing the victim mentality.
You gotta stop just saying gaslight too, just because somebody caught you in your shit. Ain't nobody gaslighting you. You know what you're doing. Or let's be honest, she probably don't realize that she got caught in her bullshit. She thought she was spot on, and she just ain't understanding. She might have to watch this video back and realize where she fucked up at. Be like, yeah, you know what? I was off on this one. I was off on this situation. I got caught slipping, but in the heat of the moment, she may not be able to catch it. So that's textbook gaslighting. But
I'm not gaslighting anything. I've destroyed your talking point, and now you're trying to be the victim. This is to make people feel bad for you because you want to feel empathy. Too bad.
I'm gonna give it to you. Y'all don't feel bad for me, even though I got gaslighted. I don't want y'all sympathy. I'm gonna give it to you, and
you're being a victim, ma'am. This is victim mentality right here. There's just too many people that act like this in society. Now, let me ask you this: you're a teacher, correct?
I'm starting to understand.
You are a teacher, Belinda, correct?
No, actually, no, I'm not a teacher. No, I'm not. I mean, a teacher of my patients, but not an actual teacher.
Oh, I thought you were like an actual, like a teacher. Okay, and then that. Oh, what happened? Oh, I forgot. Zoom has a bruh.
Got a bad talking sister. Like, what's all that about?
Why are you? Okay, first of all, you're not my sister. I don't know you, ma'am. I have a couple sisters, right?
I refer to myself as a sister, not as being your sister. I said a sister.
What is a sister? What is that?
It's a girl. It's a woman. It's a sister. It's slang for a black woman.
Yeah. Stop the black woman stuff. Stop the I'm a victim because I'm a black woman. I don't care if you're a black woman. I don't care.
When did I say I was a victim?
No. Because you said you just got a bad talk a sister. This is the victim mentality stuff. You don't like what I'm saying because it goes against your opinion. So the way that you make yourself sound like a victim and everybody to take your side of stuff, I'm the black woman and intersectionality. And
don't let the black pride community hear this shit. They gonna go on his shit they gonna rip him a new one. Pause. Boy.
He doesn't like me because I'm a black woman. I don't care if you were purple. I would have the same energy. I don't care that you're a black woman. I don't care that you're a woman. Stop with the victim mentality stuff. Your race does not matter. I don't care about your race. I don't care that you're a black woman. I don't care what you are. You could be a blue woman, a green woman. You can identify as a shark. I don't care. I'm still going to give you the same work. So stop with the I'm a black woman stuff. Nobody cares that you're a black woman. I could care less.
Okay. All right. I'll give it to you. Perfect. Your opinion. I love it.
Do you see the way that I talk to men?
I do. I see. Yes.
Do you ever mention that they're a brother? So do I talk to them because they're brothers?
No, you talk to them because they're people and they have a voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's get off the victim mentality talk. You can go ahead and continue what your point was, though.
Well, I wanted you to really answer my question. You didn't answer my question. You did a lot of deflecting and asking questions instead of answering my question. So I'd like for my question to be answered if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect scenario. If me and you were in an empty room, just me and you by ourselves, we have no weapons, how would you stop me from doing anything?
I'm not talking about strength. I'm talking about mentality. Y'all always take it to the strength level. Of course, he can protect me.
No.
He's stronger. He can overpower me. I
Calm
understand that argument.
Calm down. To answer your question, Belinda, the reason why, because you used the word confidence, the reason why men are able to...
I said competence.
Competent. Okay, I thought you said confidence. You said competence. Okay, I got you.
Competent.
I apologize. The wrong concept. But you said confidence. You said competence. The reason why men have always had an upper hand over women is because you can't defend your position. That's why. If me and you were in a room by ourselves, there was nothing that you could do. And that's not a threat. Obviously, I would never do anything to you, Belinda, right? But the point that I'm making is there's absolutely nothing that you can do. Even when we talk about feminism, women empowerment, right? When we talk about all of these things, those are given to you by men saying, all right, here you go. If it wasn't for those things and men defending your position of what you believe in, you can have a million women marching in the streets right now for women empowerment and freedom, which is really not 2026. Women empowerment is really women hypersexuality empowerment. I want to act like a woman that's a whore, but be treated like a woman from 1950s. We know. But the reason why is simply because there's a biological mechanism. You can't defend your position. And unfortunately, men can defend their own positions. You have to outsource your own defense, Belinda. That's why. It comes down to that.
I mean, I would agree with you.
Okay.
I would not disagree with you on that point. I would not disagree with you on strength. What I am simply asking is, I'm not talking about decisions as far as fighting and being protected. I'm talking about decisions as far as maintaining a life. Maintaining a lifestyle, making
okay. So they talk about something else now. So at the end of the day, bro, she wilding. She on to a whole nother situation. What up, Shell? What's good with you? This is what I can't stand about women who always try to use their degrees. Just because you got your degree, that don't necessarily make you intelligent. That don't necessarily make you smart. In some cases, it can, depending on the type of degree that you have. Or let's be honest, it may make you educated in that specific field that you got your degree in, right? But that doesn't make you overwhelmingly or overall intelligent. I hate when they do that. Oh, I got my degree. So that means you're really good at retaining information. You're really good at retaining information. That's all you're telling me. Scooby-Doo. 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 But anyway, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Listen, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned in the comments. Also, be sure to support the channel.